Hey guys, Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlshe's.com, here to tell you why it's okay to be depressed. But it is, actually. A lot of advice out there when it comes to getting girls, being social, being charismatic, is about being positive. That works. Being a positive guy who's walking around the party with smiles and giving great emotions to everyone, it fucking works. People are magnetized to that energy. So I would suggest that if you can feel good, or if you are feeling good, use that and spread that positivity. Use your fire to light more fires. But that's not always just gonna be how you are. And I actually suggest you not fake it. I know tons of situations where I'm on a date with a girl or I'm in a party and I'm not feeling, good for whatever reason. And then I force myself to be positive. And sometimes it does end up turning me happy. Kind of like if you smile, it might actually, like, I don't know if it releases chemicals or some shit, but it'll make you feel better. But there's also times when I've done it and I just make it worse because I'm hiding it. And the best way to get over that, I'm not saying you should sit in your sadness, or you should sit in it, but you shouldn't glorify it or be like, I have to be sad. You should see it as just a bump that you need to take, because it's going to happen. There's always an ebb and flow of your emotions. And you're going to get over it quicker by sitting in it, by allowing yourself to feel that sadness for whatever reason. Maybe you just talked to a girl and, I don't know, she has a boyfriend. You're like, oh, it's kind of disappointing. Someone might say, oh, well, don't be fucking upset, don't be a bitch. Well, if you do feel that way, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should get harder and get stronger so you don't feel that way. But if you do, you can't just be like, oh, I shouldn't feel that way. You need to analyze why you're feeling that way. And then when you can deconstruct why you're feeling a certain way, then you can prevent it from happening again. Or you can learn how to deal with it when it comes up. Because anyone who's acting like they don't get upset about anything and because they're such a hard badass, okay, you're full of shit. I don't know a single person who doesn't get upset, and I've met some pretty badass people, so go fuck yourself. But when you are actually sad, not only should you sit in it in order to overcome it, but it can actually be really attractive to women. So there's this thing called sexy brooding. There's a few different characters who have this attractiveness. Val Kilmer in The Saint is a really good example. If you see the seduction in that movie, he kind of plays the tortured artist. When the girl first sees him, he's sketching the statue or something. And then she's about to leave after giving him very obvious hints. Oh, there's a fly. Fuck you, fly. Making me depressed. So basically in this scene, she's, you can just look it up, Val Kilmer, The Saint, seduction or something like that. She walks around next to him and obviously is giving him signs to talk to her. And then she's like, okay, well, I guess he's not gonna talk to me. And she's about to leave, and then he says something, right? And then they end up having a date, and he kind of plays this tortured guy. They end up going back to his place, having wine. I think he breaks the glass somehow and he cuts himself, or he purposely cuts himself to make it look like he broke something so that she'll take care of him. Because women kind of like taking care of things. And so even though he's sexy, right? He's not so, if you're some loser who's depressed, then you're not gonna be attractive. So here's the thing. He was already sexy, right? He had nice long flowing hair, he's a decent looking guy, he's dressing well, he's artistic, so he has something to him. He has some fucking value, right? He speaks sexy, he has a really sexy accent. That's what makes him sexy. But then he has this weakness, and that makes him human. Because sometimes when you have a guy who's just too perfect, he's unattainable. Like the girl doesn't feel like she matches up to him, and so she's not gonna feel compatible with him. But if you're really hot and really strong in a lot of ways, and you have talents, and you have skills, and you have status, whatever, but then you have some sort of weakness. Like let's say you're the party guy that everyone always loves, but at this particular party you seem to be down. It can be really attractive for a girl to see that and kind of just see you being alone. And she'd be like, hey, what's up? How are you? Be like, oh, I don't know, I'm just not feeling that great. Well, why? Anything happened? And maybe you share what happened with her, and then she's gonna feel special, because obviously you probably don't share this with a lot of people, right? Because you're this cool guy. But what you're showing is, I feel comfortable enough with you, or I trust you enough, or I don't know, I just like you enough that I'm gonna tell you this thing about me that possibly makes me look weak or sad, because being sad is just not typically known as cool, and vulnerable. And that might just be the thing that sends her over the moon, right? She's going to just love that raw authenticity. And then what's gonna happen is, because it's kind of like when you share a vulnerable moment with someone, they're usually going to feel a lot more, the way that I get people to have great relationships with people is I'll usually tell them very deep, dark things about me. And then usually they'll reciprocate. Now, not necessarily, I'm not doing it to get the result, but I am just showing with them because I want to feel the connection with them. And so they'll give back. And that builds a really strong rapport because they're telling me something that they haven't told many people or maybe anyone at all ever. And so when you give a woman or a person, just another guy, that vulnerability, it can be a moment of attractive vulnerability that actually is much more attractive than if you've just been happy-go-lucky all the time. Because when people are like that, they like you, but at the same time, there's always that sense of it doesn't seem realistic because I never feel that way all the time. And I don't know anyone who feels that way all the time, but you seem to be happy all the time. So are you kind of just hiding? And it makes you look fake, right? So if you're okay all the time and you're always happy, it can kind of come off fake because people know deep down, intuitively, instinctively in their gut that no one is happy all the time. And so you have to accept that reality, that no one is okay all the time. And then becoming okay with that and then using it to your advantage. So use your sadness, and it works because being vulnerable is attractive. And you use it in the right way, okay? I'm not saying you go up to a girl and you just start fucking telling her your life story, okay? There usually has to be there has to be strength first and then vulnerability has to follow. And so if you're not feeling that great for the date, don't flake, right? But go on the date and allow yourself to just be not so talkative. Allow yourself to be distracted. And if you see her noticing this, maybe you can just tell her, be like, hey, I'm sorry I'm not that talkative. I'm not really feeling all that well today, but I am enjoying my time with you. So I don't want you to take my silence as me not enjoying this with you. That's really fucking attractive to hear from someone. It'll make her feel better because obviously everyone's insecure about what's going on and they're gonna be like, okay, is it me? Is that why they're not really happy right now? Because we're gonna always assume it's us. She might even ask you about it and then you can just share with her. You can say, I don't know what it is, I'm just feeling off. Or you can tell her about something that's going on with you that makes you feel this way. Now you might be shy to share that with her and there could be a risk that you share it with her and she thinks you're a pussy or she thinks you're lame. But there's also a high chance that she doesn't and that she actually finds it really attractive. So it's okay to not be okay all the time. If you want to use it to become attractive, you do have to have other attractive qualities that make you foundationally strong and attractive. And then this vulnerability allows for there to be a gap in that castle. And then when she goes inside, she actually sees how much more beautiful it is because it's beautiful on the outside and big and strong with big walls. But then she gets a peek inside and she's like, oh wow, it's amazing also inside because it has so much complexity. It's not just beautiful, there's some bad parts. But that bad part makes it truly beautiful rather than fake beautiful. And so you can show that to her, usually only though, if you already have some strength. So you do need to make yourself more attractive. You do need to make yourself behaviorally attractive, right? It's not just about making yourself look good, taking care of your hair, your skin, your fashion. That's important, but it's also about being behaviorally attractive. So when you first met her, you're really charismatic and cool. And then now on the date, you're showing this other side to yourself, but that actually might make you more attractive because you had a great foundation and then here's the real you combined with this. The real you is both. Right? So your happy side is you, your sad side is you, and you have to accept that you're gonna have both at different times and don't try to fake yourself being happy and positive because although being happy and positive is of course great, right? It would be great if you're on a date with a girl and you're like, yeah, boom, boom, boom. And it's just amazing and you're lifting up her spirits. But there can be an attractiveness to showing her a dynamic side of you, the true side of you, the vulnerable side of you, that'll make her feel connected to you because you're showing her a fucking real side of you that normally people wouldn't because they're afraid to, but you have the courage to show it, but also you have the attractiveness to back it up because if you're just a loser all around and you're depressed, no one wants to fucking be around you. That's fucking so, it's toxic and you're just emotional vampire. No one wants to be around that. So if you're sad and depressed all the fucking time, okay, you need to fucking work on your shit. You need to find some sort of solution, psychologically, life-wise, health-wise. You gotta fix your fucking shit. But if you're like everyone, even the most high achieving guys, even the most high status guys, the coolest guys, the happiest guys, you're gonna have moments when you're not happy, and that's okay. You can use it to your advantage, and you need to, because you're gonna be in that mood whether you like it or not. But then if you use it to your advantage, and then you have this great connection with a girl, and then you end up having sex with her, well, you're probably gonna be much happier than you were if you just be like, hey, you know, I'm not feeling good, I'm gonna go home and be fucking Eeyore. Okay, so you're gonna get sad sometimes, and it's okay. Use it to your advantage, and it can be a very great tool to building a connection with a girl or a guy, and developing a deeper connection with those people because you allowed yourself to be vulnerable but strong because you had the courage to be vulnerable. Okay, cool. Hector Castillo, Poppy from girlschase.com. Follow me on Instagram, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and fuck yourself.